Hello and welcome to Lesson 3 of our Algebra Unit 1 Concept 4679 Lesson 3. So today, scholars will recognize arithmetic sequences as functions. Arithmetic sequences is what we're talking about today. So, what is an arithmetic sequence? An arithmetic sequence is a series of numbers where each term increases or decreases by the same amount. For example, we have this sequence 3, 8, 13, 18, 23. If you look, each time we are adding 5. Every time we add 5. That's what makes this an arithmetic sequence. We're adding 5 each time. So let's look at another one. What about this sequence? 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So here I add 2, here I add 4, here I add 8, here I add 16. So that is not arithmetic. What about this one? 4, 8, 16, 20. Again, we look here. I add 4, I add 4, I add 4, I add 4. So this one is... And one final one to look at. 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. So here, all I do is look at, I see I add 2, but then I'm adding 3, 4, 5. So this is not arithmetic. So arithmetic sequence doesn't mean you can tell what the next number is. It means that we add or subtract the same amount. Okay? So that's what it means. We add or subtract the same amount to get in between each term. So, there are formulas for arithmetic sequences. This is called the explicit formula. The explicit formula lets you find any term in the arithmetic sequence. So, a sub n is the nth term or any term. A sub 1 is the first term in the sequence. So whatever the first number is in your sequence is what the number that goes there. N is the term position. So when I'm talking about the 10th term, then n equals 10. If I'm talking about the 12th term, that's what n is. And it would go here as well as here. We've got n. Let me erase real quick so you can see a little bit better. We have n minus 1. So n minus 1. So in this case, I'm looking at whatever the term is, minus 1, times d. D is our common difference. That's the amount that we add each time. If we are subtracting, then it would be a negative number. So you may have to put this in parentheses if it's a negative number, so you make sure you know that you are multiplying it times a negative number. Now, we can also multiply it out and get something that looks a little bit different, but this is how you find it. The other option is we also have what's called the recursive formula. Recursive means to do again and again. So the recursive formula, if you look at it, again, we have any term. In this case, instead of being able to immediately get the 12th term, I have to know what the term before it is. And then all I do is add our common difference. So the recursive formula is great if I give you the 22nd term, right? And want the 23rd or the 24th. But it is very difficult to get any term without, you must know the term before in order to calculate any of the terms. So for the recursive formula to work, you have to know the term before. So let's look at some problems that we can do. Here's some examples. Determine if the sequence is arithmetic. So the first thing we have to do is the sequence arithmetic? If it is, we have to find the common difference. Remember, we called the common difference D. So for this first one, I'm going to look, so between negative 30 and negative 40, I go down 10, and down 10. So yes, this is an arithmetic sequence. D equals negative 10, because I decrease by 10 each time. Let's look at the next one. Does this look like an arithmetic sequence? So here I'm going down 10, right? Here I'm going down 10. But between 4 and negative 4 is not 10. That's minus 8. So this is not arithmetic. Okay? That's all you're looking at. Do you have that common difference? If so, you're going to tell me what it is. Another type of problem, this one, they're telling you, they've given you the explicit formula for an arithmetic sequence. They want you to find the first 5 terms and then the term that they ask for. So they're giving you the explicit formula. So I'm going to substitute in, to find the first term, I'm going to substitute in 1 for n. So I have sorry about that. Let me erase that. Let's go with a pen this time. So I have a sub 1 equals 32 minus 4.5 times 1. So my first term is just 32 minus 4.5, which is 27.5 is my first term. I want the first 5, so I know my common difference, I can find it here. My common difference is negative 4.5, so I'm decreasing by 4.5 each time. So I can either keep putting the numbers in here and do times 2, times 3, etc. But I know that I'm going down by 4.5, so then my next number would be 23. Go down by 4.5, I'm at 18.5. Go down by 4.5, I'm at 14. Go down by 4.5, I'm at 9.5. Those are the first 5 terms. But then it wants me to find the 10th term. In this case, I really am just going to, let's erase this real quick. I'm going to, instead of D, I'm going to put in, or instead of, and I put 10. So I've got, so this gives me 32 minus 45. So A sub 10 equals negative 13. We can do the same thing with our next problem. A sub n is 2/3 plus 1/6 times n. The big thing here is we're going to have to reduce these. So when I put in 1, I end up with 2/3 plus 1/6, which is where we have to have our common denominator. So I'm going to do 4, 6 plus 1/6. So I have 5 6 my first term. I increase by 1/6 each time. Then I'll have 1. Then I'll have 1 and, well, I guess I shouldn't write it that way. I should write it as an improper fraction. So then I'll have 7 6. Then I will have 4/3. Then I will have 3/2. Once again, because you have to do each of these as the simplest form. So this was 6/6, 7/6, 8/6, 9/6. We just have to reduce them. So then we have to find the 18th term. So to find the 18th term, let me give myself some room here. If you don't have things written down, you should definitely write them down. So to find my 18th term, I'm just going to erase some of the stuff I did from the first one real quick. To find my 18th term, I'm going to have to put 18 in for n. So I have 2/3 plus 1/6 times 18. So 1/6 times 18 is going to give me 3. So I have 2/3 plus 3. Once again, I have to have my common denominator. So I have 2/3 plus 9/3 gives me 11/3 is my 18th term. Okay? And finally, let's go into one more type of problem. Given the first term and the common difference of an arithmetic sequence, find the first 5 terms and the explicit formula. So, in this case, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the first 5 terms, just because that's really easy, right? So I have the first term is 8. My common difference is negative 3, so my next term is 5, 2, negative 1, and negative 4. That part's simple, right? But then I need to write the explicit formula. So if you remember correctly, that was a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. Okay? So we know our common difference is negative 3. So I have a sub n equals, however, my first term was 8 plus n minus 1 times negative 3. I'm going to distribute out the negative 3 to get a sub n equals 8 minus 3n plus 3. So a sub n equals, I'm going to combine by like terms and get 11 minus 3n. That's all we're doing in order to find these. So let me real quick erase this. So make sure you got it or pause it. And we're going to go down to the last problem we're going to do together. So once again, I'm going to start by just doing my first terms. It's negative 5, and my common difference is 3.5, so I'm going to add 3.5. So I have negative 1.5, add 3.5, I have 2, add 3.5, I have 5.5, add 3.5, I have 9. That's my first 5 terms. Now I'm just writing my explicit formula. A sub n equals, first term is negative 5 plus n minus 1 times 3.5. So a sub n equals negative 5 plus, I'm distributing my 3.5, 3.5n minus 3.5. I'm going to combine my like terms. I have a sub n equals negative 8.5 plus 3.5n. Okay, good luck on your classwork.